one truth became painfully clear. Learn this lesson well, soldier. Trust no one.
I've been playing Tabor for around 3 years at this point, and it has been a game I've so dearly loved. Despite the constant drama between the community of Timmy's asking the Discord when wipe is going to be, to people constantly arguing that Contractors is just a better game. Personally, I could really care less about it because my time playing Tabor has been an amazing experience. From fighting off kitted kids on island to trying to eliminate Collector early wipe, it has been a blast for me. But there's always been a darker side of Tabor that every time I think about it, I end up just kind of glossing over it. But that's why in this series, we're going to dive into the deep and grainy depths of Tabor's dark and mysterious story and figure out what the hell is going on. The world of Tabor has many factions, both player-based factions and NPC-only factions, but each of these groups have their own backstories, so come along with me as we uncover what their true meaning is. The Ghosts are a player faction that are the remnants of a US Special Forces who formed into groups comprising a private military organization hired by what is left of NATO to secure Tabor. This group was established and hired by NATO in 2042 after Russian militant forces, or Volk, gained control of the Russian capital. The Ghosts are the leftover US Special Forces who refused to surrender Tabor to the militant forces of Volk. The Ghosts believe Volk is a secret branch of Russian military whose purpose is to create a larger and more powerful Russia. The Volk are a formidable and ideological-driven faction born from the belief that the Russian government had sanctioned and facilitated the exploitation of its own citizens through horrific experiments. In 2042, as public outcry and mounting evidence of these dark actions reached a breaking point, Volk emerged from the shadows. They seized control of the Russian capital, overthrowing the government and dismantling its most corrupt systems. The faction quickly absorbed any remaining elite special operation units that had survived the chaos, consolidating their power and vowing to liberate the Russian people from the government's past atrocities. After solidifying control over the vast expanse of Russia, the Volk shifted their focus to broader geopolitical concerns. Their ultimate goal was not only to liberate their homeland, but to expose the global network of power players that had enabled the cruel experiments. With full control over the Russian territory secured, the Volk's military campaign began to push westward, driven by a belief that the source of the experiments extended beyond their borders. Intelligence gathered by their operatives pointed to a chilling conclusion. Tabor was the epicenter, the site where the experiments first began to unfold. The Volk forces descended upon Tabor, prepared to uncover the damning evidence hidden within the region. However, they soon encountered unexpected resistance. The aftermath of a devastating blast had left the area in ruins, but that did not prevent the Ghosts, an elusive and heavily armed faction, from fiercely defending it. Moreover, the presence of the Fenix rebels, a local group that had risen up against the Volk, and the broader oppressive forces, added further complexity to the conflict. Despite their strategic advantage in overwhelming numbers, the Volk found themselves engaged in a brutal and prolonged battle for the control of Tabor. The Volk's primary belief is that the Ghosts are not simply a rogue faction, but a covert organization working to suppress the truth about the experiments conducted on Russian civilians. They believe the Ghosts are actively covering up the evidence that could link both the United States and Europe to the experiments that left countless Russian citizens in suffering. For the Volk, the struggle for Tabor is not merely a territorial dispute, it is a desperate battle for the truth, the survival of their people, and the vindication of their cause. However, the relentless fight against the Ghosts and Fenix rebels only fuels their resolve, knowing that the answers they seek may lie buried in the ashes of this once thriving land. So far, it seems that the Volk and Ghost player factions are fighting over seemingly beliefs of each other's groups. The Ghosts are after the Volk because of the beliefs that they are a secret branch of Russian military that are trying to create a bigger and more powerful Russia, while on the other hand, the Volk believe the Ghosts are a covert organization working to suppress anyone who knows the truth about these so-called experiments conducted on the Russian civilians, if they are true. We'll be coming back to address these experiments. So whether or not these statements made about Volk and ghosts to each other are true or not, for now, we'll never really know the truth, so it's time to move on to the next faction. So at surface level, the Fenix is an NPC faction of rebels that were formed from the devastation the war had brought to their home of Tabor. They are caught in a bloody conflict they have no part in, desperate for their home back. They attack anyone who is not a Fenix as they struggle to save their homeland from the nuclear blast. As seen in the insignia, their motto is Fenix Vladne Nochi, translating roughly to Phoenix rules the night. This is a reference to their drive to restore peace and Tabor to its former glory. The Fenix are comprised of two bosses, Kurtek and Collector, but we'll get more into them in a different video. For now, there's not much known about the Fenix, so it's time to move on to the Zero Foxtrot. The newest faction on this list is the Zero Foxtrot, or Zeros for short. They are prior Volk and Ghosts who went rogue and are there to do their own thing within Tabor. Their only allies are themselves. While it is not known, I speculate that the Zero Foxtrot is led by Nikolai and Tatra as his right-hand man, but again, we'll get back to them in a later video. Just like the Fenix, not much else is really known, only time will really tell what their true intention is for Tabor. Undoubtedly one of the most controversial factions of Tabor, Silent North, and Grimm combined. For right now, we'll only be focusing on the Tabor side of their dark doings. Advantage is a world-renowned company that prides itself on the pursuit of truth, knowledge, and the continual betterment of mankind. They're responsible for many great successes in research in various fields like engineering, medicine, biological sciences, and just about anything you can really think of. Great minds from all around the world work diligently to be a part of the Advantage's push forward toward humanity's continued growth and progress. Now, it is hinted that they may be a villainous actor, and there's speculation around that they're actually the ones doing the experimentation on Russian citizens. It is said they had a hidden facility on island of Tabor where there is believed to have be advanced technology, but the facility contains a billboard and a front lobby, kind of suggesting that it was at least visible to the public, so I'm not too sure on the publicity of the facility. Advantage is a very public and offers a wide range of goods to the public. Products include NRSs, computer terminals, product delivery, service, plant seeds, etc. The sealed off area is at the very bottom of the facility, in the bottom of the ramp near Blood Beach, or Slaughterhouse as I call it. Not because it's an actual slaughterhouse, but because it just sounds more grueling. They give the possibility that there is more to the operation than we can see. The facility appears to be an office. There's no scientific equipment, laboratory apparatus, PPE, eye wash stations, etc. Stuff that you'd normally find in like a medical, industrial, scientific enterprise. Whether this next part somehow ties in or not, in the tutorial video from previous versions, it is revealed that you willingly joined Advantage as an employee or tester. They provided you with your safe house and transferred money into your account. They mentioned there are other survivors and that you may join up with them or eliminate them in the field. But at the end of the video, there's a video segment that appears to be produced at a different time than the original tutorial video. In it, you are given a cryptic warning in the phrase "nuclear night" is mentioned before the video abruptly ends as something supernatural or unnatural occurs in the background. Now, to me, this doesn't really make sense as it doesn't tie into the lore, as the player can only pick the Ghost or Volk factions to play as, so it just doesn't really make sense how you could be an employee or tester. Now, the video differs and possibly contradicts other sources of lore, so that may be why it was removed from the game. The factions are not mentioned at all. There's no mention of war or biological experimentation. Now, the cliffhanger at the end of the video implies that the current setting is before an existential or apocalyptic event. Take a look at it.
Okay. I don't have much time. The nuclear night. It's not what we thought.
Now, I do have some speculation that the nuclear night might be the virus that's affecting Silent North. But again, just like the bosses, we'll be covering all this in a different video. So for right now, just take that ending video with a grain of salt, as I'm not really 100% sure what it means. Alright, wrapping up, I hope you guys all enjoyed the video. If you do like this, I will definitely be doing more lore videos. I have a lot more stuff to cover. I already am looking into the Advantage Research Corporation and how it extends to the other video games. So if you guys all like this video, please hit the like, comment down below what you thought of it, and I will see you guys all in the next one. I hope you guys enjoyed.